there was a lot of fish being wasted. Just so exciting how many lives we've been able to influence and how many people we've been able to feed.
Rangatira kai.
Simple as ABC.
Today we're going to be sharing an inspiring story with you about an organisation called the Kai Ika Project. Thomas and I have been following the work of these guys for so long and it is absolutely awesome. So the Kai Ika Project take fish heads, fish frames, fish offal and they redistribute it to the community, to people who really value these parts of the fish. So we're going to be shadowing these guys today, learn more about the work that they do and show you what they're all about. So the Kai Ika Project is based here in the Papatūānuku Kokiri Marae. So marae are Māori meeting grounds and they're spaces for where celebrations, funerals, education, community things happen. It's a very sacred space and this is where the Kai Ika Project runs out of. So it was this whānau or family, the Papatūānuku Kokiri Marae family, who started the Kai Ika Project.
Kai Ika was established 2016 now, with a partnership through the Outboard Boating Club of Auckland, the Papatūānuku Kokiri Marae and Legacy. There was a lot of fish being wasted. People coming from a big day out at fishing, they would come to OBC, fillet their fish, and then they had big fish bins filled with heads and frames. And usually they would just throw it straight in the bin or back in the ocean. So they identified this problem, and from that, Kai Ika was established.
We've got to go and find Carlos, who we're going to be shadowing today. Where is he? Kia ora, Carlos!
Morena.
Morena.
Sheena.
How are ya?
Morena. Karana.
Kia ora.
Ko Carlos o tēnei tōku ingoa, ki te tau tōku pāpā no whakatāne, ko te whānau hotene no te rohe o Poroporo, ki te tau tōku māma, te reo Ngāti Whātua, mai ki Kaipara, ko ngā tuku mata whaurua te waka, ko tōna pāpā no Rarotonga, kia rana ko te katotoa. So yeah, my name's Carlos. I'm one of the kaimahi, kaitiaki, kai auaha, tēnei marae o Papatūānuku Kokiri. Just really have a massive passion for our community, for our people. So Kai Ika has been an awesome mahi to do in terms of what we're doing, how we're diverting the fish from waste to feed whānaus. Quite a few birds with one stone. I guess, manaki te taiao or the environment, but also feeding our whānau and our community.
Picking up some fish parts. The fish parts come from all around the place, so fish companies, recreational fishers. We're picking up about 230 kgs of mainly tamure heads and frames and offal today.
It started off simple, recovering 17 kilograms of fish heads and frames one week, brought it back to the marae and it was gone within a few seconds. So they did that week after week, 17 kilos turned into 50, turned into hundreds, and now we are recovering and sharing over 1,500 kilograms each week of fish heads and frames.
So the truck pulled into the marae and now the boys are just unloading the fish, and so they're just quickly popping them into containers. People bought their own containers and they're loading them up and going to take them home and cook them up. There's so much beautiful kaimoana coming out of the bins and there's so much good eating still left on these fish frames, and that's one of the big missions of the Kai Ika Project, is to educate people about eating the whole fish, respecting the whole animal. Man, there's so much good eating, right?
Yes. So on the fishes, we still have, obviously some of the meat that's left on the frame. There's a lovely piece under here, which is called the wing. The wing is my favorite part of the fish, is the wing. And then we've got the head, where the cheekbones and the top of the scalp.
That's my favorite bit.
Yeah, the cheek. And then if you're a real fish head lover, people usually go for the eyes as well. Nice and succulent. We call this part of the fish, or the offcuts, the head, rangatira kai, because our tupuna used to utilise full of the fish, not just the fillets, but also enjoy the head and the frames as well. So
rangatira kai translates to chief's food.
yeah, chiefly food.
Like chief.
Yeah, chiefly food, man.
The best bits.
The best bits of the kai is the head and the rest of the body. Fillets a bonus.
I think last week or the week before it just ticked over to 140,000 kilograms, which is insane. I mean, we're averaging over 50,000 kilograms a year now, which is incredible.
That's the distribution all done here at the marae, but the truck still has fish in it. It's heading off south to a little township called Pukekohe where they're going to distribute more of the fish, so it gets out to a wide range of the community. And it's just so neat being here, seeing it all happen, seeing this fish moving into the community and being used, because it's sacrilege to see that fish being wasted and only those fillets being used. All those frames, those heads, the wings, delicious pieces of the fish, the eyes, it's the prime cuts, and it's so great to not see it being wasted. The fish do have the guts in them, so some days they are breaking them down, and then the guts are used with their huge gardens they've got. They make fish emulsions for composting on the gardens, so every little piece of the fish is used here at the Kai Ika Project. It's a stunning story. It's so neat watching it all happen and seeing that fish go out there to be used. We've popped down to Westhaven, which is the main marina here in Tamakimakota, Auckland. There is a lot of boats in Auckland and a lot of fishers, but this is the main marina, and what Kai Ika also have is this trailer that I'm standing in, and this is their filleting trailer, and it's fantastic. You can come down here, and Quentin, who is an expert, I fish myself. If you follow us on Instagram, you might see some of my fishing exploits, but filleting is something I am not good at, and so I'm watching Quentin here, who is a pro at filleting, and it's like art to watch. It's incredible. But I love it down here. So they're down here at the main marina, and you can come with your catch as a recreational fisherman. They'll fillet your fish for you, $3 a fish, then they get to keep the heads and the frames and wings, and then they get redistributed through to the community. It's all just part of that learning and teaching people about using the whole fish and not just filleting it home and throwing it in the bin, because we cannot see this fish being wasted. I love it. That is great to see. And another cool thing they do is knife sharpening. So any budding fish filleters like me, you can get your knife sharpened on a professional machine. So Quentin has just sharpened up my filleting knife for me, so hopefully I catch a fish soon so I can test that out. I love this. I love what they're doing. Such a cool setup.
We've arrived at Legacy HQ. Legacy is one of the founding partners of the Kai Ika Project. So we're here to learn a bit more about the Kai Ika Project from the team, and we're here for what's behind that door. So a lot of the fish heads and fish frames that were collected at the filleting trailer at the marina over the weekend are in that smoker, smoking away, and they're going to be distributed to some of the marae around the area as well. We have about 45 minutes left until those babies come out of the smoker.
Obviously, when COVID hit our shores, there are over 100,000 people that were unemployed, especially in the South Auckland region with the airport being shut down, which meant they needed food. So they turned to Kai Ika. And what we had to do is dramatically increase our source of kai moana. We actually reached out to commercial fishing companies, so Moana New Zealand, we reached out to them, they came on board, they started supplying hundreds and hundreds of kilograms of fish. So we were able to, I guess, service our small community, which is now a large community of fish head recipients, and ever since then it's grown to what it is today.
I'm here with Dallas Abel, who is the project coordinator of the Kai Ika Project. Quentin is on the tools, so he's about to do the big reveal. The smell is
Oh, yeah.
insane.
My favourite part.
I know, right? Oh my goodness, far out. So using manuka wood for the smoking, and the fish has been in there for how many hours, Dallas?
I think about 4 to 5 hours right now.
4 to 5
Yep.
hours. And these fish heads and wings in the roe are going to go to a marae school. So that is a good feed. There's about 80 heads. The Kai Ika Project, a lot of it is also about teaching people how to utilise and cook with the offcuts
Exactly.
that people wouldn't generally
Yep.
eat.
So most of the time it is the heads and frames that gets thrown in the bin, unfortunately, and wasted.
So we'll each grab one, eh?
Yep, we'll each grab one. We'll have a crack. So you can already feel it right at the top, all in the top of the head here. You can just feel it. Well, that's all beautiful flesh. You've got all up in the back of the head here, and also
The cheek
The
meat.
cheeks.
It is so tender.
get
Like,
into it.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Just pull off the side of that head, and then you have the cheek that comes all the way up to the eye, and then behind the eye is the ocular nerve, which is also quite delicious. So you can see all of that delicious meat just falling
All of it.
straight
Oh
off.
my
Look at
goodness.
that. Who would waste that?
We sometimes take the meat from the heads and then turn it into a dip, like with cream cheese, gherkins, capers. Put that on toast or crackers. You can put that into a fish pie. There's so many ways you can use this beautiful meat.
Yep. You just have to give it a try. Whether it's smoking, steaming, boiling, baking, just give it a go and you get to reap the delicious rewards.
It has been a real thrill sharing the story of the Kai Ika Project today. They rely heavily on public donations, so there's some links down below if you'd like to help them out.
If you're a recreational fisher, go and check out their filleting trailer down at the Westhaven Marina in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. And if you want some tips on how to cook up fish parts, check out their Instagram and Facebook pages.
And don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.
It's pretty basic. How do you have more fish in the water? Kill less fish. How do you kill less fish? Eat more of the fish you do harvest.